Welcome to the Board of Regents public hearing. If you wish to speak but have not already signed in, please do so now. I will call the speakers in the order on the sign-in sheet. You may speak on any topic related to the Board of Regents, including topics on the current agenda for the board's upcoming meeting, October 23rd and 24th. Please identify yourself at the start of your presentation, and we would like you to keep your comments limited to 5 minutes. This hearing is being videotaped. We will forward the videotape to the Board of Regents office for review and for posting on its website. You will be contacted by the board office if the board has an interest in hearing your presentation at an upcoming board meeting. Additional information on the board's transparency efforts and the videos from the public hearings can be found at the board's website, www.regents.iowa.gov/transparency. And just to note, the next public hearing on this campus has been scheduled for November 21st from 4 to 5 p.m. in this room. And so we have one person signed up to speak, and that is Donald Spellman. So, Mr. Spellman, take it away.
All right. My name is Don Spellman. I'm head coach of the Iowa City Eels Swim Club, president of the Iowa Swim Coaches Association. My wife is an employee with the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. Been a resident in Iowa City since 1995. Raised my family here. I grew up in Perry, Iowa. Been a lifelong Hawkeye fan. In fact, my grandfather worked with Niall Kennick at Courier Hall back in the day. My questions basically are related to what U of I Rec Services has done with starting a youth swim program in the Iowa City area. From 2002 to 2008, my club team, the Iowa City Eels, a local nonprofit swim club. It was just parent-run with a board. Rented pool time at the University of Iowa Field House pool and ran meets, including various state championships at that site. In the summer of 2009, some University of Iowa Rec Services employees, Harry Ostrander and Phil Jolson, decided to start a new team at the University of Iowa, owned and operated by U of I Rec Services, without informing my board or myself on that matter. The new team was started by two former parents from the from the Iowa City Eels, both with U of I ties, one being the spouse of the construction plan design director, Rod Leonards, the other one being a former professor at the U of I. We held meetings with former aquatics director and current U of I varsity swim coach Mark Long and former Rec Services director Harry Ostrander, dating back for a couple years before 2009. Those meetings were attended by ICE board members, and some of those were actual ICE board meetings. If you look at our minutes, discussing plans for the CRWC pool and ICE's role/use of that site. University of Iowa representatives had ICE budgets, Iowa City Eels board meeting minutes, copies of my contract, and also copies of the Iowa City Eel bylaws. One of our former board members is the current U of I provost, Barry Butler. 2009, Barry Butler was president of a team that broke away from the Iowa City Eels called Hawkeye Aquatics. That team, in the summer of 2009 in August, folded into the Rec Services program. There's some conflict of issues cited during Barry's tenure with the Iowa City Board of Directors, which he resigned in 2008 in December following a board meeting. The U of I Director of Planning, Construction, and Design, Rod Leonards, his wife was installed as co-head coach of the club, which is owned by the U of I. The other coach was Dominic Zhu. Both have been found to have recruited from my team, breaking USA Swimming rules in the process. Along with Harry Ostrander, former co-head coaches, the iFly program, and other Rec Services employee, current West High coach Rob Meisnikowski, engaged in various acts of deception and illegal recruiting. A complaint was filed with the Iowa Swimming Incorporated Board of Review in 2010. That complaint went to mediation and is still unresolved, having had the mediator resigned. The mediator is now an employee of the U of I Law School. Despite repeated attempts to discuss documents written by Harry Ostrander with people affiliated with the iFly and others affiliated with iFly program. I've been denied meetings with President Sally Mason, Vice President Tom Rockland, and U of I General Counsel Gabe Pelzer. The U of I also has been quite reluctant to turn over documents related to the conflict with ICE. The Iowa Flyers program was started by attacking the Iowa City Eels. Many acts included intimidation and internal manipulation at the University of Iowa using U of I resources and departments. The U of I said nothing to the general public or iClub members when fundraising was taking place for the new facility that they were going to start a youth swim team, and had not been honest with their budgets or funding of that team as well. Conflicts of interest are rampant and ongoing in dealing with the U of I, given the consistent involvement of the current provost, Butler, and director of planning and design, Rod Leonards. After watching what took place in 2007 with the sexual assault of a swim team member and the scapegoating of Marcus Mills during that time,
Over here. Okay.
I feel that I don't trust the U of I to conduct a thorough investigation. Therefore, I'm asking the regents to get involved at this point. Last year's conflicts with the Faculty Advisory Committee at the U of I College of Education, and the fact that Barry Butler had a role in that, and the firing of former Iowa Flyers swim team coach Megan Osteen in 2012 have only reinforced my view that the U of I is not only ill-equipped to conduct proper investigation into its own employees, but is also willing to engage in tactics that try to make their problems go away easily. I would ask the regents conduct an independent investigation into these actions, especially of those of former U of I Rec Services Director Harry Ostrander, and to see what actually took place during the Iowa Flyers, during the formation of the Iowa Flyers program, and to make sure that other nonprofit youth sports area programs in the team are not targeted in the same fashion that Iowa City Eels was in the future. I would also implore the regents to have Sally Mason be held accountable to those under any unethical and illegal actions that may have taken place during that time. I would ask that ICE receive an apology from U of I Rec Services Department, and that department settles the current complaints sitting with the Iowa Swimming Incorporated Board of Review. I would also advise that Regent Robert Downer recuse himself from any and all discussions and any and all decisions related to this matter, given the fact that he lives in Iowa City and knows many of these people involved in this mess personally and on a professional basis.
Thank you, Mr. Spellman. So we're going to slide you over on that side of the table. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is the camera. Okay. It's recording it. So next we have Dale. You're gonna have to pronounce your last name.
My recorder
here. Dale, if you could introduce yourself at the beginning of your presentation and try to limit it to about 5 minutes, that would be great. It's being recorded. The Board of Regents will receive a copy of this videotape.
I'm recording here. Thank you. It's hi, my name is Dale Borhave. I live at 350 Dublin here in Iowa City, apartment 104, and I'm was at the first transparency meeting we had here a while back, and I have some questions about whether this is getting out to the public as far as what the meeting is going to be and where it's going to be and that sort of thing. I happened to run across the meeting for tonight in the Sunday Des Moines Register I had, and I don't know, I get the local paper too, but I haven't seen anything in the local paper, although I don't know whether the campus paper, what is that, the Daily Iowan or something, whether it was in that or not.
The announcement for these public comment periods
Yeah.
Were sent to every one of the media in the state.
They were sent there,
Yes.
and it would be their discretion to publish it or not to publish it, is what you're saying.
Yes, and at the same time, when they were sent to all of the media outlets, the university posted it on its webpage as well, both in
Okay.
Iowa and on its transparency webpage.
Okay. Because I am at the first meeting, I was speaking in regards to the suitability of one of the Board of Regents because of some of his past actions in Africa. I don't know that you were yes, you were at the first meeting, I remember. But tonight, what I want to talk about is there some place, for instance, a citizen like myself can sign up to be informed of future meetings that I'm on here today, and you have a list, and you send me a notice or send my organization a notice? Or
I can certainly make sure. I'm the university's transparency officer.
Okay, Mr. Braun?
Yes.
Thank you.
We can get your contact information, and I will make sure to add to my list every time one of these public comment periods happens. That you're notified. Before you came in, I
Okay,
did announce that the next public hearing will be on November 21st from 4 to 5 p.m. in the same room.
11, what?
November 21st from 4 to 5 p.m.
In the location?
this very same room. Our intention is to hold all the public comment periods in the same room so that people aren't trying to find different locations.
Yes, because I've only lived in Iowa City 2 or 3 years, so it's fortunate. My son works for the university. I have a question also about that. This is for people from out of town. They might not know all the facets of the university and so forth. Some of the other organizations I belong to, we hold meetings in things that everybody knows, like the public library or the senior citizens place or something. I'm not knocking your location here, but I think that's one thing I noticed. I just moved down from northern Iowa a few years ago, so I'm still learning the town after 4 or 5 years of living here.
And if I may, one of the reasons why we chose this location is the old Capitol Mall. Most people are familiar with in the Iowa City area, and there's easy access to public parking.
Yes.
And accessibility to the room. Mm-hmm. So that's why we chose this location and why we've reserved the room for all the public hearings for the next year.
Okay, that'll be fine. Now, then the papers and the news media, the TV, all the other sources would be able to, from that notice that you send out to them, would be strictly their decision on whether the meetings was going to be held and when and so forth. And another thing too is just the comments that are held at the meeting, that a person be willing to make comments about ways to improve the situation, to improve your knowledge, like the other gentleman was giving specific information. I belong to another organization called Concerned Citizens. We have certain issues that we deal with, and I'm not going to discuss those tonight, but they would be able to determine whether this would be something meeting that you should hold. So now you said in the thing in the register, all hearings will be videotaped and posted on the Regents website.
This device right here is the camera That is,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It is video recording your comments, and when this is all done, we will send the Board of Regents the link to this video recording of the hearing, and they will post that on their website.
Yeah, on the university.
The board actually sends out all the dates for all public hearings statewide. I think like a couple weeks at least ahead of time, so everybody knows.
So now, one thing concern we have in the organization I belong to is the accessibility of citizens to actually attend the Regent Board meeting. They have been not treated too well in the past, and when they went to a Regents Board's meeting and they wanted to express themselves and weren't recognized, and then when they started to talk, they were escorted out of the room by the police or something. That's not too good.
And these public comment periods are set up to receive input exactly like you're talking about.
Okay, that's what we want to express the views of people on different subjects, and it's then when they're posted on the Regents website, then this would be a place for people to review what's being said this evening.
Correct.
And then I guess my other question would be that how do people determine which conversations should be forwarded to the Regents rather than not? You're going to do some screening?
No, this on unedited videotape. It is unedited and will be posted on their website. So anyone in the public, the board office will all see this complete.
Okay.
In its entirety, no edit.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. That's good, because there's going to be differences of opinion and needs. So that's what I was mainly concerned about, the availability of the media to have and to announce these meetings beforehand, and then also then how this is transcribed onto their Board of Regents and what they do. So that's my main thing. Being new to the area, if you said Ames, I would know it very well, but thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
I had
Bull.
to put a plug in for my old alma mater.
Thank you. We do have another speaker. Slip back out of the way. Do you want to stay in the room and observe?
Yeah, that'd be fine, and
Okay.
listen to it. Can I just leave the recorder there?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Stare at me the whole time. There you go.
Thank you.
Next we have Catherine Baldy. So have a seat. I'll hit the highlights for you. If you can begin your presentation with your name, try to limit it to about 5 minutes. All of your comments will get posted on the Board of Regents transparency page.
Okay,
So, and this lovely device is the camera that's recording you.
perfect. My name is Catherine Baldy, and I'm the undergraduate student body president here at the University of Iowa. And I just wanted to come in really quickly and kind of express my support and student government support for the proposed appropriations request on the docket for this upcoming meeting next week. I know we're all really pleased to see the in-state tuition freeze on the agenda, and I think that a 1.8% increase for out-of-state students is modest and in keeping with inflation. And so we're really pleased that kind of all the talks from last year and this year have boiled over for this proposal, and we're just really excited to lend our voices, our stories, and our advocacy efforts to seeing that it can become a reality through the legislative session this year. We've done some meetings with state legislators over the summer, and we're training our senators in kind of how to share their stories of self and how to lobby. And so we hope to, be in the Capitol this winter and in the spring and see this become a reality. So that's all I can say.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Abby and Jenny, and you're both going to go at the same time.
Yes. Yep.
Please state your name at the beginning of your presentation. Try and limit it to about 5 minutes. It will get edited, or it won't get edited. It'll get posted on the Board of Regents transparency site.
Okay.
This little dealy bob's the camera, and it
moves.
activated,
Oh,
so
okay.
we'll focus on you
Okay.
as soon as you start talking.
And can go whenever? Okay. My name is Abby Davis,
And I'm Jenny Elliff.
and we're P3, so third-year students of the College of Pharmacy here at Iowa. And we just wanted to come and say our thanks for keeping the tuition for the College of Pharmacy as low as possible. I know that the undergraduate tuition is frozen for next year, so we do want to appreciate your work as keeping ours as low as possible. Also want to say we're both from the state of Iowa, and I personally really love Iowa, and I know Jenny does as well. So, it would be really nice to have the Board of Regents look into programs of giving or helping the students stay in the state of Iowa after we graduate, some sort of tax incentive or tax credit program when we get jobs, just because of all the debt that we'll have when we get done.
And we're really excited to have the governor and lieutenant governor visit the College of Pharmacy on October 27th so they can see all the amazing things we're doing.
So thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
The 24th. Yeah, next Thursday.
27th is my birthday.
Happy early birthday.
It's a Sunday. He's not here on a Sunday.
So,
getting a good amount of face time on the camera.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone will love that.
This being my first Iowa City meeting ever.
Really?
Yeah. Because with President Rude being, with all of the interviews and everything, the one that was supposed to be in Iowa City got moved to Des Moines.
Oh, that's right.
And then the first one, I was in DC this summer during our last board meeting. So this is my first Iowa City meeting ever. It's almost been a year now, too.
We'll be happy to welcome you to the University of Iowa for your Board of Regents meeting.
It'll be nice. I don't have to drive or worry about a hotel or anything like that.
Actually, knowing where my parking space is the good thing. Well, we've reached the end of our hour for the public comment period. I would like to remind everyone that the videos from the public hearings can be found on the Board of Regents website. Again, that site is www.regents.iowa.gov/transparency. And just a reminder that the next public hearing on this campus will be on October 21st from 4 to 5 p.m. in this room. And we're done.
Thank you.